Now, when Briony Williams agreed to take part in the Great British Bake Off, she made an important decision not to mention her disability. Born with what she calls a little hand, Briony wanted to prove that those with disabilities can do just as well or better than anyone else.
Nice to meet you.
Nice.
Oh, that looks fantastic,
I know.
doesn't it?
Oh, thanks.
Can't believe you haven't brought anything.
I know, gosh, sorry.
How rude.
How was your whole Bake Off experience?
It was wonderful. I had the best time ever. I mean, it was really stressful. It's the most stressful thing I've ever done.
It looks so stressful.
It really is, but it's so worth it. Just it was fun. I had to have every weekend. I just felt so blessed to be there.
And how far did you get, just for those who
I got to the semi-finals, but I went back and did the Christmas one and won that.
Which you won.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
Exactly. And is that because you had done it before, so you weren't quite so nervous? So...
Definitely more chilled.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much tension in the tent. Everyone was a little bit more mellow. You know, there were reindeers, there was fake snow.
Yeah.
You could just chill out a little bit more. And Paul was a little bit more chilled.
OK.
So, you know, there wasn't quite so much fear. Constant fear.
Constant fear.
So, yeah, it was brilliant.
And you have been open about the fact that when you went on the show, you decided, I'm just going on as me. And I'm not going on for any reasons other than wanting to take part in Bake Off. Yeah. So there is no reason why I should mention the fact that one of my hands is different to the other. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we discussed it, Channel 4 Love Productions before. Do you want any special treatment? Do you want any special help?
And you were offered it on
they did say if you need anything extra, we can provide it for you. But growing up, my mum, who's in the audience, my mum, she always told me that if I was going to do something, if I struggled to do something, then I just had to find my own way of doing it. So that's how I've approached my whole life, like tying my shoelaces, riding a bike, driving a car. I just go about doing it my way. And so I wanted to go on and just be me. I didn't want the big label or, she's the first disabled baker.
Yeah.
I always do this.
I love that.
I can't. I always do that. It's like, do you know what I mean?
Do you feel a pressure, though? Because, obviously, there are lots of, people out there that do need representation on TV. Just look at the BAFTAs. We were talking about diversity, lack of diversity there. People think that's always about colour. It's not. It's about disability as well. Do you feel there's a pressure for you from from the disabled community to talk about it?
There's no pressure, I don't think. It's just encouraged. I've really, the last 18 months or so, have had to almost come to terms with that label of disabled, because I've never used it growing up. Because it's always had a lot of negative connotations. Whereas I think what I've tried to do is try to accept that word, own it a little bit more and say, yeah, all right, I am disabled, but that doesn't make me any less able than a lot of other people. And it's given, Bake Off's given me this amazing platform to be able to say, it's OK, you can do what other people do. It's OK to be different.
Yeah. And have you always been this positive and this confident? No. Did you go through a time where it got you down?
Teenage years, I mean, everyone's self-conscious in their teenage years, but, when I used to walk into a club, I'd get my best friends sort of hold my hand as we walked in. I'd always put my hands in my pockets and, I had quite a lot of unkind experiences of guys growing up. Men more than anything. Women are generally very supportive. But I think the last 6 years, I've been very accepting of my hand, but since Bake Off, I'm now very proud of it. I'm proud of everything that I've achieved.
Brilliant. And you're going to be presenting on Food Unwrapped.
Yes, I'm going to be. So I was on the Christmas special for Food Unwrapped, and I'll be presenting for the rest of the series.
Amazing.
Which is brilliant. It's such a fun programme to be a part of.
Can I ask that bracelet? Did your daughter make that?
It's #gifted.
Okay.
My daughter Nora made it for me.
Nora, I love that
Nora,
name.
pasta and pipe cleaners. So I wanted to make sure I wore it.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And you just when you held your hand up there, I saw a little tattoo.
Oh yeah, my little tattoo. So I've had that for a few years, but it was a much paler pink because that was my acceptance tattoo for me. And then after Bake Off, when I was so much more comfortable and proud of my hand, I got it done in a darker pink, so it's a little bit more.
It's so interesting being with you because many years ago, I'm from the North East, and I was a patron for Give Tilly a Hand. So little Tilly Lockie, who's become an absolute advocate. I don't know if you remember years ago.
She's amazing.
And she's had the first bionic bionic hands, and she's been on all the, you know, she's absolutely amazing. But it's the first person I've met since who had a similar difference, and how wonderful she was, and how she never let it get her down, and how she's a pioneer and
She's
stuff.
amazing.
So it's brilliant that you, as you say, you have this vehicle now.
Yeah, I do, and I think, you know, why not? And I get beautiful messages from parents of kids with hands like mine saying thank you so much for going on Bake Off. And there's a little boy in America whose mum messaged me saying when he's feeling a bit low, he likes to watch Bake Off. He's got a hand like mine, and he turned to his mum and he said, "Do you know what, Mummy? If I'm feeling a bit low, I'm going to try and be a little bit more Briony."
You know, another special moment for you was when your daughter held your hand.
Yeah,
for the first time.
Yes. I mean, again, you're a new mum, there's all these insecurities that you get. But Nora got quite funny about holding my hand, and that, it did get to me. It really affected me. And for a long time, she didn't want to hold it. And then we were watching TV one night, and she just reached over and just held it without any... And it was a really, really sort of big moment for me. And then the other week, we were out and about, and she was holding her hand like that, her left hand. And I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm trying to be mummy."
But that's the thing with kids, though, to sort of leave them and they'll come round.
Yeah. The other thing is you're bound to get a hair commercial as well. I get so jealous.
You have beautiful hair.
With my 3 strands of hair, I get so jealous.
Briony, thank you for coming on today.
It's a pleasure.
It's been really
Thanks for having
beautiful
me.
to hear your story, and best of luck with Food Unwrapped as well.
Thank you very much.